What's going on, guys? Roy Robles here from Zigwheels.Ph, and today we are graced by the presence of two of the officers of one of the most prestigious Isuzu muX clubs in the Philippines, the Isuzu muX Owners Philippines Incorporated, or muXop. Did I get that right, guys? muXop, muXop.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Thanks so much. I know I get that. I get the muX nomenclature wrong most of the time, all the time, and I want to start correcting myself now. Let's call that the Isuzu muX. So yes,
That's right.
today we are graced by the presence of. First of all, I'd like to introduce the president of the Isuzu muX Owners Philippines. Here is Attorney Mike Garces. Hi, Mike. Good day. How you doing?
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Good
Doing
afternoon.
fine.
Perfect. That's great. And of course, we have also one of their members, members of the board of directors of the club, Mr. Albert Ocampo. Albert, how you doing?
Good, Sir Roy.
Perfect.
Glad to be here.
And I'm glad that you guys were able to, of course, grace us with your presence. And today we'll be picking your guys' brains, asking you more information about your club, its history, your members, your advocacies. Of course, that's the most important part about having a car club and joining car culture in the Philippines. Your advocacies and joining like-minded car owners in the Philippines here. Of course, you have one of the most versatile, one of the most rugged SUVs in the market today, the Isuzu muX. We want to know more about why you chose the Isuzu muX and why you guys chose to band together. And at the end of the interview, I want to know what you think about the all-new Isuzu muX as well. Alright, so first of all, I'd like to ask you guys, and of course, let us know and let the viewers know about how the Isuzu muX Owners Philippines started. How many are you back then, and how did you guys get recognized as the only Isuzu muX club in the Philippines? By the way, that's a fact, guys. These guys are the only Isuzu muX club recognized and accredited by Isuzu Philippines Corporation. We want to know how you guys got started and how you got recognized, and how many were you when you started the club?
Yeah, I think I can answer that first question. When we started back in 2015, we were still affiliated with an all Isuzu club. And then a year after, we realized that there's so much, owners in this club that we can probably venture into creating our own club, which is focused on the Isuzu muX, or
Right.
that variant
That's right.
product. So I think we started out with around 30 members. We gathered in Quezon City in August, and then from there, I think 10 of our members, our senior members, assigned themselves as the board of trustees, and sort of like having an organizational setup for the group. From there on, I started to create the page, the groups, Facebook pages, and then it went, it exploded into first year 300 members, the first few months, sorry, and then after that 1,200 after next year, another 1,200. So we were able to sustain that with a lot of growth and with a lot of promotion, and of course with the help of Isuzu Philippines Corporation and their support.
That's really good to know. And of course, you mentioned earlier that you guys just got accredited by the SEC as a legit corporation, and you guys are now incorporated by the SEC. How did that go along? Was being accredited by Isuzu Philippines Corporation a factor in that?
Yes, so it's sort of I can ask Attorney Mike to explain more about it. But when those 30 members came in, that was their own objective at first, because our previous organization didn't have that SEC accreditation
That's right.
or registration. So we wanted to have a legal entity and a legal say in how
That's right.
the whole organization would work in a way professionally, recognized by the corporation, or as a non-stock corporation by the SEC. So we can also transact with sponsors. We can transact with other charity
That's right.
institutions. So those were our objectives back then, and I think it got accelerated during this pandemic because of those online and virtual tools.
Right.
We were lucky enough to be accredited and registered by the SEC. I think mid this year, even despite of the pandemic.
That's right. So this is just not your usual fly by night clubs, weekend clubs, or go ahead with Puyat racing and everything. This is a legit, a legit, legal, and of course, accredited club that Isuzu MUX owners can join, and they can be assured that, of course, these guys are real people. These guys have real advocacies and a vision for what they want to be, and not just your usual weekend clubs that people you don't get to contact anymore, and just created on a whim. These guys are real people that I think Isuzu MUX owners can join, be a part of, and contribute and know and learn more from the community. So I think that's a great idea for most MUX owners to do that, because of course no one lives on an island, right? And of course, if you want to have your own MUX, it's nice to share your experiences. And this club is joining a club is one of the best avenues to go to, based on my experience as well. All right, so I got another question for you guys. Speaking of advocacies, what are some of your activities, and what are the benefits of joining your club?
I defer to Sir Albert, sir, being the more senior member than me, sir.
Okay.
So,
So we have a lot of activities. The most common one are what we call car meets, where we just gather around in a parking area. We ask for permit to do that. And then we share ideas about our upgrades in our MUX, our experiences, and a lot of things, even share food, right? Like we do what's that, potluck
Sounds
in
fun.
those ways. Yes, and another type of events that we do are what we call donation drives,
Mm-hmm.
where we go, where we pull in funds of our own,
Mm-hmm.
and then we choose a charitable institution, or an orphanage, or a beneficiary,
Mm-hmm.
and then we go there, and then maybe a 20-kilometer drive to that area. Even in remote areas in Laguna,
Right.
we've done that. Even in Ilocos, other areas of, even in Iloilo, recently they had their anniversary of their chapter there.
Oh.
So that's one. We call it donation drives. It's a long drive, and then we go to a beneficiary and then donate whatever funds and things we gather that could be useful to those in need. We also have anniversaries and what we call year-end or year opener events,
Mm-hmm.
where we would meet, seek for some sponsorship from our partner sellers.
Mm-hmm.
So we have raffle prizes during that time, and we pull in funds for payments of those activities, and those to organize them, even print out shirts and things like that, stickers. So that's one, and I think that's about it. We have those types of car meets, donation drives, and anniversaries, and year-end and year opener events. So that's also one of the reasons why we wanted it to be very organized, because and we wanted it to be SEC registered, because when we want to pull funds, we want it to be accounted for, right?
Yes.
We want to be responsible to our members when we
Exactly.
report it. So we follow the guidelines set by the SEC, accounting, and all of those things, so that we remain transparent to our members. All of us, the directors and the trustees, and even our admins, do things voluntarily. Some of the perks we have are probably speaking at public engagement, but those are for free. I mean, we don't really charge for it, or even charge the organization for it. It's all voluntary work, and
Right.
all just for passion of doing it for the club, and our love for our Isuzu MUX.
I like
as a
that
big.
word. Yes, I
Yeah.
like the word passion, and that's right. It's all about the passion. And if you are a legitimate car enthusiast, especially a Isuzu MU-X enthusiast, you do everything for your car, and it's nice that potential members or future members uh, can be rest assured that the club that they're joining is actually joined and is organized and has is being administered by people who are as passionate as them. Yes, attorney, you say something.
Yes, if I may add, Sir Roy, uh, in case also of calamities,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we often collect also some donations for our members and help out communities who are in distress.
Yes.
And if I remember it right, also Sir Roy, there was also an instance that our club also donated something like a solar generators
Oh.
for school for a school power plant school power plant school, I think
Yes.
in La Union. And those donations were given voluntarily by our members without even expecting anything in return.
Right.
But we would like to recognize those effort, and as a way of paying them or giving them what is due to them. That's also one of the reasons why we wanted a legal personality, so
Right.
that we can also duly recognize those people who have been continually helping others.
Right. And I'd like to think that you guys have the opportunity to help these people out, especially in those far-flung areas, because you have the Isuzu MU-X, because you can. Yeah, I mean, you can't bring a sports car, you can't bring a sedan, you can't bring even a small crossover to that. Only the Isuzu MU-X can get to that place and help those guys out. So, one more thing. If for, especially for potential members here, what sort of benefits, perks do they get if they join your club?
All right. So, want me to start, Target?
Yes, Sir Albert.
Okay. So we don't charge for a membership fee. But upfront when they register, they purchase decals for their MUX just for identification, right? They have their own IDs, a T-shirt like this
Show the
with our
pride.
logo.
Yes.
And so things like that. Those are basic. But other than that, I think we have a marketplace where we require all sellers to provide at least a percentage discount for every purchase. So that's one. We also have an arrangement with some sellers or some servicing institutions. Before we were given discounts in Roro, in how do you call that, attorney? To go, or that roll on roll off ports
Yes,
when
yes.
you go to so that's one. We also have they also have gained access to our sort of private group where we have 4,000 members scattered across the Philippines. So in case of emergencies, when you're on the road, like you're going to Bicol and you're stuck in somewhere in Albay, we have members in there that can respond to your needs. Like the other day, I think someone was got a flat tire in Pampanga, or someone in Cavite, and then some of our members and our leaders went to that area within a few minutes just to help out because they identify those members as their own. So that's the type of enthusiasm and the spirit that we have, and some of the perks that they gain from joining our club. Aside from, of course, the raffle that you get just by attending events,
Oh.
right? So we don't normally charge events, especially online events. But whenever someone donates to us, we right away assign it as raffle entries for the next main event, like anniversaries or year end or car meets. That's why we have a lot of attendance, and we we gain a lot of participation, because if you're a member, you're entitled to have raffle entries just by attending those events.
Right, and that's the beauty about creating a community of like-minded individuals. The car clubs and the and car culture in the Philippines is great. It's because it connects you with other people, and of course, you get the opportunity to help them, and in the end, you gain something as well out of the experience. Now, you mentioned that you have 4,000 members. Do you also have a province? You also mentioned something about an Iloilo chapter earlier. How many chapters, provincial chapters, do you have for these 4,000 overall members?
Yeah, we call it location centers or zones. Right now, I think we're close to 30, around 29 locations or so. So it is dependent on the number of members in there. It can be a city, it can be an area. Like NCR is divided into four. Is like the four districts, like southern NCR, central NCR, and then west or north NCR. So we also have location centers in or zones in Visayas, like the one I mentioned earlier, Iloilo or Timpanay group, Cebu. We have EBRB or Eastern Visayas. We used to call them Laysam or Leyte and Samar. We also have Team Negros. So those in the Visayas. And then further down south, we have North Mindanao, Southern Mindanao, all of those areas where there's at least 10 to 15 owners. We recognize them. We put an active member as a location lead, we call them. And then those location lead would be responsible for conducting those events locally. So we've grown so far because of that type of setup. Our reach has extended up to the further ends of the Philippines, even Zamboanga and Cagayan Valley. So we have members all over. As long as there's a MUX in there, a muX in there, and someone's willing to become a member, we recognize them and become make them as our zone or location center.
And I think that's definitely a testament of how popular and how much the Isuzu muX has affected the lives of Filipinos, and how much of an impact it has on our local car culture. And that brings me to the golden question that I have right here. I know that we've discussed about the MUX, the muX. There we go again. I'm calling it the MUX. And here comes the golden question here. I know we've discussed and talked about the Isuzu muX and how rugged, how powerful, how versatile it is. But I want to know from you guys, why did you choose the Isuzu muX out of the many mid-sized SUVs that are available in the Philippines? Diesel SUVs, yes.
Go ahead, Tony.
I'll go ahead, Sir Albert.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Honestly, Sir Roy, I have to tell you that I fell in love with the muX at the first time I saw it. I have the 2016 model, the 3.01, the automatic version. At the time that I was shopping for a new SUV, my priority was to have a vehicle, a very reliable vehicle, because time is very important in as far as my profession is concerned, because I have to have a vehicle which can keep on running in all kinds of road conditions. And at that time, I was looking for a diesel powered vehicle, SUV, and of course, nobody can argue when it comes to diesel engines.
Yes.
Isuzu comes number one, especially at the, especially with the Filipino buyers. You can't deny that. When it comes to diesel engine, well, there's very little argument against Isuzu.
Exactly.
Uh, and and when I actually tried to drive UX, I was impressed by the by its performance. I was expecting a very noisy vehicle because that was the impression
Yes, you.
of an Isuzu vehicle by most of our uh, most of the customers who are thinking when they hear the name Isuzu, uh, the first things that come to their mind, maybe it's noisy, it's a smoke belcher one. Well, those were erased totally by the
Right.
MUX. Yeah. So performance wise, I can no longer say that Isuzu uh, is lagging behind, because I think it's now ahead of the pack, thinking that it has one of the most reliable engines out there. And based from my experience, I've been now using my 2016 SUV for the past six years, and not a single part have been replaced. In I mean, those parts that even at, simple as a tie rod end, I did not a single part was replaced on my SUV. That's why I'm so impressed by its durability.
That definitely is impressive right there. What I took from that is that you were just simply looking for a rugged, reliable, powerful diesel SUV, but you did not, or you were not expecting it to be refined, comfortable, and luxurious at the same time. And of course, I like the fact that you're running it nonstop. How many kilometers have you racked on it so far?
Well, I'm now running it for almost 100,000.
Wow,
So, yeah.
100,000, and you have. I mean, of course, these things are normal. Replacement parts are normal, but you're telling me that you haven't replaced any parts as of yet. Knock on wood, of course. And
Yes, sir.
that's
Honestly.
amazing. That's amazing. That's definitely amazing right there. And I like how and I've always said that Isuzu is always top of mind when it comes to diesel vehicles. We used to have an Isuzu before, if you remember the old Isuzu pickup trucks before the Isuzu Fuego. And we've sold that car already, and sometimes I still see it running around, and we've had it since 1994. And I can, of course, see you guys still driving your Isuzu MU-X's of 20 years from now, and I definitely like that. And yeah, it definitely helps me with my decision making process maybe in the future with Isuzu MU-X. All right, so you've had your personal experiences with the MU-X, but what do your other members? What do other what are the impressions of other MU-X owners that you keep hearing about it?
Sir Albert, please.
Yeah, sure. Well, I think there's one common aspect that they say. It's durability, reliability, and the trust that you put in the car. As long as you maintain it and you love it, it gives it back to you. Right?
Yes.
And then I think that's one of common denomination that we get. And as Attorney Mike would have said it, you rarely replace or fix a major issue into it. Like most of us users from our 2015 or 2016 group, we're still sharing our experience, our stories, our own travel. Like someone recently just posted he went to I think Negros Occidental and went back to Benguet. We were surprised about how fast he did it, but that's how our group operates. That's how they provide feedback. Those long mileage, like someone even went from southern Mindanao to Quezon City even to Baguio just to meet one of our board of trustees, even drop by to Quezon City on the way back just to meet with me and have that coffee or have that conversation with us. So that's how reliable our Isuzu MUX is, and that's how they share their experience, taking it to different parts of the Philippines. If we can take it on a Roro trip to Indonesia or even Malaysia or our neighboring countries, maybe that's also a possibility. But that's how we do it. We even organize what we call fun runs. We went to
Caravans.
Ilocos, even the North Loop, Ilocos back to Cagayan Valley, and then Nueva Ecija, go back to we call it the Luzon North Loop. We had a couple of years fun run to Bicol, going back. So that's 1 week. And then we had some of our location leads in Bicol give us a tour around the area, even help us with accommodation. So that's how we share experience and share feedback with how reliable the Isuzu MUX is. Even in those long drives, you don't feel tired about it.
Yes.
The suspension is good. You have this notion that can be a truck-like suspension, right? Like it might be too strong, but because of this MUX, the coil spring and the suspension, and even at the back, it's no longer a lift spring. So those improvements, and I think we're trying to we are seeing a lot of improvements in the all new MUX, but we can feel the support and the research and development technology that even Isuzu globally is doing, that's benefiting us as users. Not just in the Philippines, we can see growth in Australia, in Thailand, other regions that require that long haul type of travel, and that's what Isuzu MUX is for us.
I can imagine that right now. Breakfast in Benguet, lunch in Quezon City, and then maybe dinner in in Bicol,
In
all in the
Ilocos
Isuzu
Norte.
MUX. Ilocos Norte. I think that's a normal occurrence for MUX owners and MUX drivers. And you've talked about the features that you like about your current Isuzu MUXs, but the thing about owning an Isuzu MUX, from what I've seen, is that a lot of people are installing modifications, accessories, either performance or aesthetic. But have you installed mods onto your current MUXs, and what are the more popular mods that people are putting in their Isuzu MUXs? MUXs, yes.
Hey, want to
Well,
take a stop? We can do both because we're both
Yeah.
very passionate about those DIYs. Actually, Tony Mike himself he does he has his own GPS update events even in his location. He does it for free
Mm.
when he goes with some of his MUX owners or members in Ilocos. He would update that GPS system and download it from the internet and do it for free for the rest of our members. So that's one. I think one of the most popular types would be, at least on my end, in terms of performance, would be what we call intercooler pipes.
Oh,
We would change those traditional rubber types
Rubber.
or rubber hoses into either stainless or aluminum, just
Yes.
to add that extra consistency in terms of the air or our VGS turbo working. So that's one. I don't know, Attorney Mike, if you could share some more.
Yeah, I also have that IC pipes, Sir Roy, and
Yes.
I also have that what we call oil catch can.
yes. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so other than that, I think some of us have done modifications with an Android head unit. And this is talking about the first generation of MUX, even the Blue Power, right? Some
Right.
of us has switched to those types. And even what you see, like the power tailgate, some of our members have done that beforehand.
Oh.
I
Oh, you
think,
can do that outside of the factory. You can install a power tailgate.
Yes,
Oh.
yes. Even having a sensor at the bottom, a kick sensor, right, to open it. So we
Wow.
have those types of yes, yes. We even have a folding side mirror. That's when you lock it, it integrates with the lock, so you don't have to forget or check whether you've locked your vehicle from afar. As long as the mirrors are folded, and that's your assurance that your vehicle is or MUX is already locked. So those are some of the
Yes.
modifications.
Also, power stepping board.
Power step boards. Wow, that's
Yeah.
fancy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
from what from what I've gathered about the modifications you mentioned, like GPS, improved intercooler piping, what is oil catch can. It's all about the drive. It's all about getting to your destination, finding new adventures, and of course, getting there with the consistent power of the Isuzu MU-X. And I think that's really a testament of why owners choose the MU-X in the first place. It's active, it's adventurous, it's rugged, and I know that you guys love your current MU-X, but have you seen the all-new Isuzu MU-X? We've been discussing this before our chat, and I think we took a longer time than we were supposed to, just fawning over it. Now, what can you say about the all-new Isuzu MU-X, and can you share us your first impressions after the launch?
Yeah, Sir Roy, I think Sir Albert can better answer that question because he has a first-hand experience with
yes,
the all-new
yeah.
MUX.
We were lucky to be there in one of the dealerships, and IPC was able to organize that. So I think this version of the Isuzu MU-X is something that Isuzu Philippines, the R&D, has really listened to what the customers want ideally for an SUV. Like I mentioned earlier, power tailgate. Even we can imagine the third row seat having that ample space already, and still having that improvement to recline it. So the all new MU-X, we were surprised to do that. Even simple things like a tweeter speakers on the rear end for better listening. So
Yes.
those things, even I don't know, too advanced like an ADAS system, right? Mounted in the upper part of the windshield.
Yeah.
So safety features like that, it's like they're way ahead of the curve. It's like they did so much of their research, not just in R&D and technical stuff, but also in terms of listening to car owners from the previous generation. Like the modifications that we have, what we mentioned before,
Yes.
having a head unit that's bigger. Right now, it's 10.1 inch. That's more than what you can ask
That's
for.
an iPad already.
Yes, that's an iPad, right? Even a multi-information display on your
Right.
dashboard that's big. It's 4.5, other than your tachometer and your odometer. That's way advanced. So those, even in terms of just the looks and the feel of it, the leather seats are very comfortable. It's not as glossy or as different of a finish from before.
Right.
Even the interior trims, all of those things, I think it's very refined, and it's very, I would say, it will give you a run out of your out of your investment.
Yes.
And what else can I say? I think in
How
terms
about
of the
the
ride,
steering feel, Sir Albert? How about the steering feel?
yes, it's very different because it's a combination of an electric and a hydraulic type. So, and it's good. You don't want to be pure electric, because if it's pure electric, you might, that sense
It's
of
too soft. Yeah.
yes, it's too
You don't
soft.
have any connection to the road. Yes.
Yes, the control might not be there sometimes. So, it's good that it's still a combination of hydraulic and the one that we tested was a 20-inch one, the LSE.
Ooh.
And and I remember
20 inches.
some of our members before, when they upgrade to a 20-inch rims, they would normally have that feedback that it's a bit
Right.
slow or a bit hard in the
It's harsh.
steering, right?
Yes.
But what we experience from just testing that, that 20 inch and having that 50 millimeter thickness, is too soft. I mean, it's very different from even the stock 17-inch trim that we have. So I would say it's definitely it's a leap of improvement from the handle that we had before. So before, if we were really comfortable with the ride during the long haul, I would think our enemy would at this time would be the comfort, because if you're too comfortable, you might be a bit sleepy on the on the long drive, right?
I know exactly what you mean, especially with those 20-inch alloy wheels, those dubs. It's really comfortable. I mean, I've driven SUVs with 18 or even 19, but 20s, I thought that would be unthinkable and undrivable. But this one, when I first drove the muX, and you can watch the video right here. There's a link. It's just what sorcery is this? It's like the engineers at Isuzu were able to get just the right modifications in to make sure that you have the smoothest drive possible. And I know it's not going to stop people from modifying their muXs, because that's what it's all about, no one. But out of the box, right out of the factory, it's just hands down amazing. Now I know, attorney, that you haven't had any hands-on experience with it yet, have you?
Unfortunately, Sir Roy,
That's
not
not
yet.
not yet
Although he was there when there was a virtual launch,
the virtual launch.
a live event in Facebook. Yes.
But no worries,
we
alright.
all-
Where are you located, attorney?
I'm presently, sir, I'm in Ilocos Norte,
In Locos
Lawag
Norte.
City.
Let's see if we can get the muX to you, okay? So we can test it out. But what features, based on the launch, based on the spec sheet, what features are you most excited about, attorney? That you're looking
Well,
forward to?
Yes, as demonstrated by my colleagues during the launch, sir, I'm really excited about the safety features that were added to it, and of course, the improved cabin experience. I heard that the cushioning now of the all-new muX, it's a much better
Right.
than the one that I'm driving right now. So I'm just so excited to get my hands on that vehicle.
It's definitely good to know. I think the safety features you're talking about is this ADAS, Advanced Driving Assist System, right? The one where it's almost like autonomous driving, where it warns you if you're keeping on your lane. It has this. I mean, we're talking about unintended acceleration, right? It even has that. Where it warns you, or it actually stops or brakes the vehicle when you're about to hit an obstacle. I think those are things that definitely you have to look out for and watch out for, and some valid things that you can get excited about the Isuzu muX.
Even adaptive cruise control, right? I
Adaptive
didn't know that
cruise
cruise
control.
control can stop whenever your vehicle in front of you would stop. I didn't know it could do that.
But the Isuzu
I think
muX
it has
can,
also
yes.
yes sir, a pedal misapplication mitigation.
Right.
I think it has also that feature
Right.
now.
So we can get to finally get those haters or people to just just zip it. The Isuzu muX has something against that. So here's the thing: is there something that let's be honest here? There's no such thing as the perfect car. There's no such thing as a perfect SUV, and that's why modifications exist. Is there something that you still want to see in the Isuzu muX that was not featured, or is there something that you don't like about it particularly? No worries, I won't take this against you, because I'm as well might see some things that they can improve on. But from what you see on the launches, from what you're on your hands on, what other things that you might want to have in probably future releases that are not in the current muX?
I have one though. The dashboard that's sorry, the rear view mirror that records front and back, even a 360 option camera. So I think it's going to be here. but they didn't include it in the first launch. But that's one feature, and I think I see in some SUVs, but it's not existent yet in the new all new MU-X. So that's the 360 camera
360 camera.
recording. Yes, yes. Even the recording of that. So that's one. I don't know, Attorney, if you can think of others.
Well, am I right, Sir Albert? If I say that, or I may just ask it as well, is the all new MU-X a collaboration with Mazda?
Yes. Previously, it's General Motors. I think the collaboration right now is with Mazda.
Yeah. That's why in the all new MU-X, I was expecting the one of my favorites installations in my old MU-X. That is the head-up display. That is one of the trademarks of Mazda, I think, in their cars, a head-up display. So I was expecting that feature on the all-new MU-X, but unfortunately, it was not there.
Here's one thing. Here's one trivia that I'd like to share with you guys. Isuzu actually developed this platform on their own. Now Mazda saw this platform and said, "Oh, this is a great platform. Let's go ahead and adapt it to our cars." So that's how much that's how much trust Mazda has with Isuzu, that they actually go ahead and use it. Now, I know what you're talking about with the past collaboration with GM. They used it on their other SUVs and pickup trucks, but this time this is an Isuzu vehicle that Mazda thinks that is good enough for them, that they applied it into their own car. So that's one more thing to be proud about here. It's an all Isuzu development, and it's just that good. Now I know about what you're talking about, the 360-degree camera. I wish that it does have it. I mean, there are a lot of other smaller SUVs that have it now, and So we've established that the Isuzu M. Yeah, sure, it's great, it's good. But here's the question that I want to ask you guys: would you consider upgrading your current MU-X to the all-new MU-X? Attorney, why did I hit a string there for you? Do you have your reservation already set up?
Yes, that's a dream, sir. Of course, I would love to have it right now, but still, I would keep my all MU-X, sir.
You keep your MU-X, and I think the all new MU-X is for people like me who want to enter in your club and say that, and of course be part of your community and all that. How about you? Do you see yourself buying a new MU-X?
But in the near future, probably yes. Post this pandemic situation, especially the very attractive 1.9 liter RC.
Oh yes.
You're more of a city driver, like me. Against Attorney Mike, who's really goes to different provinces in Ilocos, right? So it really, you'd be divided, and you're more attracted to that fuel economy, right? It's the lowest in the market, 1.9 liter, but still have that horsepower like a 3-liter first generation, right? So that's good. And yes, I would still consider to buy the all-new MU-X, but to Attorney's point, if I can keep my previous one, even after 5 or 10 years, I will keep it. So, because we really love that the durability, and that it has taken care of us in even some difficult roads ahead, and it's hard to let go. Actually.
That's right. It's definitely hard, and that's a testament to Isuzu. I mean, Isuzu can't really blame themselves if you guys still want to keep your Isuzu MU-X, because it's that good. It's just durable. It's just reliable, and I think I can't blame you guys for keeping your Isuzus. All right. So yes, I'd like to thank you guys for again having us right here, for being with us, interviewing, for him allowing me to interview you guys, picking your brains about what about your club and about the all new Isuzu MU-X. Now, how would potential members join you? How would they get to reach you? Can they find you anywhere on social media?
Yes, so
Albert.
we have a Facebook page, MU-X Owners Philippines, and the acronym to that is, if you want to search it, it's at muXOP. That's simple. And then in that page, we have our general members community, those interested about MU-X, those who want to find out more, prospective buyers, even sellers, even anyone who's just interested about how our online community works. We have the all new Isuzu MU-X Owners Philippines general members page. So that's one. And then from there, in our announcement is some steps on how to become a member. We are trying to transition it from a previous one where you have a membership form to an online type of membership application. So I guess that's it. If you're really interested, just message the page or any of our admins, or even our president, Attorney Mike, for any membership inquiries or details. We'll be glad to welcome you. Even during this pandemic, we'll do it online or virtually for now.
Right, and then next time you can finally take your Isuzu MU-X out on the open road where it's supposed to be. So guys, thank you again, guys. Thank you so much for being with me here and allowing me to interview you about your club, the Isuzu MU-X Owners Philippines, the only accredited Isuzu MU-X club in the Philippines, with over 4,000 members all over the Philippines. If you want to join their club, head on over to their Facebook page and make sure that you follow the steps right, and maybe just maybe you might be part of this really prestigious and now SEC registered club. Alright guys, thank you so much for here. This is Roy Robles with Mr. Albert Ocampo and Attorney Michael Garces right here, and thank you again for having us. If you like this video, please leave us a like and make sure that you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification icon so that you're alerted whenever we upload a new video. It's Roy Robles here from Zigwheels.Ph, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.